Hello, Simmers. My name is Joe, and today I have a really exciting build. So, I was inspired by SimSupply. He's been doing these tiny little home builds, like 5 by 5, 4 by 4, and then he did a really impressive 3 by 3. So, I decided, because I love making tiny homes and like trying to make the smallest house possible, like the most compact thing possible, I decided to do the 3 by 3. So I watched James's 3 by 3 and he actually didn't add a shower into his. So I tried to go above and beyond and add a shower in. So here you can see me placing a bed, like the essentials. So a bed, toilet, the shower, and I'm just testing it out too with my little sim. And I saw in James's 4 by 4 he does like he made like a separate room for the bathroom and the toilet, and I thought that was so like crazy that he was able to do that. So I thought, why not try it with a 3 by 3? Now it might not look possible because a bed takes up like a complete like like three grid block thingies. So you can just see me here trying to just squeeze everything in, trying to put a door. Um yeah, I play around with the whole room styled bathroom, like a whole separate room, because I want like if they ever have like another sim over, then they'd be able to use the bathroom privately. So I did end up getting a whole room, a whole room for the bathroom in. But I couldn't fit anything else in, which really sucked. But I ended up figuring it out in the end. So I really liked it. So I'm just like testing it out some more. Honestly, this build took me so long. It's a small space, but it was impossible to figure out. I I did not want to give up with the shower because it seemed like it would have been impossible to add a shower in, but I I didn't want to give up on the shower. So I'm just trying to play around with these walls and really fit it in there. And the great thing about The Sims 4 is that you can move things around off grid. Not off grid, but like you don't have to. I don't even know what I'm trying to say at this point. But you can just like move things to where you want them. And you can really test out the limits of an object. So with the bed, I just kept pushing it closer and closer into the wall, or like pushing it to the to the shower to see if the shower would still work or if the bed would still work. And yeah, like basically with a 3 by 3 build, what you have to do is just test things out. Like you just need to be patient with it and make sure you test things out, because if I didn't have my little sim there trying all the stuff out, then this would have been impossible because I wouldn't know how much further I could have went, because the main goal for this is to like squish everything in as much as possible. As you can see, I end up putting the bed in with the shower because that's what worked best. Yeah, so I'm still trying to play around with the whole room situation with the bathroom. You'll see how I end up getting it in the end, because I do end up making it a room, but I get rid of the door. I'm not sure how well it'll work in the end, like if it will still be considered part of the room, but I thought it still gave a good amount of privacy. And I know it's kind of odd to see like the bed go through the wall into like the shower, but I end up covering it up later and then it looks okay. It looks fine. What I didn't want to do was squish things in together or place other objects on top of other objects and make it look unrealistic. I still wanted this to be realistic. So here you can see I put like a desk over top of the bed because that's what SimSupply did, and I thought that's really clever. I don't know how he figured that out, but I used that to my advantage. But the like the what's it called? The table and the chair got in the way of the door, and if I tried to move it further up on the bed, then he could get into the bathroom, but he couldn't get into the bed. So I took that out, and I'm just gonna try and figure out like a different way to have a table that he could eat at, or that he can like study at, or like do whatever he wants there. And now I'm just trying to figure out how to a put in a kitchen. So I have the fridge, the stove, and a counter. Those are the most important things for me to get in. So I'm just trying to figure out if I could put something in the corner over there and move everything in a way where I could get into the corner, make stuff on the stove, and use the countertop at the same time. So I'm just playing around with the different types of countertops that you're given. So I went with this corner one because you can work on the corner, and at the same time I could squish the stove all the way in and just leave that corner hanging out, and then he could use it. He could also use it on the side, like as you can see right now, like on a diagonal, which I thought was really cool. And then I start playing around with him being able to use that corner counter like space. So I end up moving the stove into the corner, but I think I end up changing like my whole. I think I end up changing this whole setup around. I'm not sure though. We'll have to see. So out of everything that I've made in this house so far, the kitchen is what I tested out the most because I wanted him to be able to use the fridge, use the stove, and use the counter. And then I would constantly and continuously keep making different types of foods, like foods that you would need a counter for, foods that you would need, and foods that you need the stove for. And then if it worked, then I would push it further. So I would put the fridge into the wall even further, move it into the counter a little more to create more space for more potential items that I could put into this. Because the more essential things that I can get in here for a sim, the better it would be. So I'm just playing around with some more counters. I thought maybe I could use like an island counter, but I scrapped that whole idea like later on. So like I realized I can't really use the counter with the chair there. So I was like, why am I trying to use this island? So I just go back to the counter, I think. Eventually I end up going back to the counter because that's more that's a lot better. The counter was like the island counter just wasn't working. So I think I'm going back to the bathroom trying to figure out this whole wall situation. And then I freed the wall behind the toilet to see if he could get in there. And then this is when I start playing around with the stove as well. So I start pushing the stove back, trying to create create at least 1/4 of one grid free so he could walk through, and then it ended up working. He could walk through into the bathroom and then use the shower, use the toilet, and he could use the stove still. So I thought that was really cool. So although there isn't a door, there's still a space that's just for the bathroom, which I thought was really awesome. And because I've already tested out the kitchen, and if I could fit all of these things in, um, I already know that I'll be able to add all these things in. So now I'm just playing around with different types of counters, trying to add a sink somewhere, adding in chairs, and I'm really playing around with the setup. So I'm just trying to figure out the smartest setup for this house or this housing situation. So I did realize that I forgot a sink. So I'm just trying to find like the smartest place to put a sink. And I realized because there's no door blocking the way of a chair and a table, I could add the table again. So I did that. I added a table, added my chair. He could still sleep in it. He could still use the table. And then I thought that behind the chair, I could add a sink. And so I did that. And it doesn't look the prettiest, but it works. It works really well. And I'm just trying to figure out different things. But I go back to the first one that I chose. So yeah, and I'm just testing things out again, adding a mirror. Um, I do end up changing the layout of the kitchen because I feel like it's kind of odd to have the stove over by the toilet. So I do end up changing that later on. But because I have all the essentials down, like the kitchen, the bedroom, the bathroom, I'm just adding in extras. So things that will entertain him, things that a sim needs to survive in this game. So I'm trying to add a TV in, and when you use when you like heighten objects, sometimes they disappear. So I put the TV in the corner there because I thought it was a cool place to put it, but it kept disappearing on me, and then I just kept adding it in. I might add it in later on again, but whatever. So I also added a bookshelf beside the bed because he could still get into the bed as and using the bookshelf. So I thought that was cool. And I'm just seeing if I could add a door again into the bathroom, but no, there was no way for me to do it. So I didn't end up using a door at all. I just had like an open bathroom type setting. And here you can see I put the counter in because I really didn't like the stove being beside the toilet. I thought it was kind of weird and it'd be odd even for like an unrealistic 3x3 sim house. You still want things to look good, right? So I had the stove in with the fridge and I liked it there. And I'm just testing things out again. It doesn't work very well at this point, but I just switch things around, um, put things where they belong, and things started working. So I'm just playing around with different counters here as well. I have to see if he can get into the bathroom. I have to see if he can still use the toilet. It was just a lot of testing out with this. It was a lot of trial and error. So I didn't mind it. I thought it was really fun to build this place. It was really cool and I was really proud of myself for adding a bathroom and everything is fully functional. It it was a proud moment for me. I have to say. So, yeah. I'm just adding counters again. I'm still testing things out because I want to get this place at its fullest potential. I want to be able to make a house that people would want to play in, that I would want to play in. So yeah, and as you can see, the TV disappeared again. So I'm just trying to add it back in the corner there. I put it too high up, so I just scrapped it and then used this TV as well. And what I was trying to do was I was just trying to get it in the corner, but it wouldn't go diagonal. So I just ended up doing it like that. But as you can see right here, look at his neck. He's like watching TV. His head is like all the way up. So I just put it straight in front. Because whatever. The Sims can't get bad eyes. So who cares? I hate that it sticks out so much, but whatever. So he can still use that table even though the TV is right there. So that's awesome. And now I've figured out my whole layout. So now I'm just decorating. I'm putting in walls. Uh, I'm trying to get some lighting in. And because it's such a limited space, I wanted wall lights or ceiling lights, which isn't a problem because I don't really use floor lights a lot, or like floor lamps and things like that. So I just needed something uh, that reserved space within this house. And then I ended up adding some windows because adding some big windows will really make this place feel a little bigger. As you can see, some of my furniture was sticking through the wall, so I needed to figure out how to put it all back in without without like without it messing anything else up, like messing up any of the gameplay. So I just instead of moving the bed, I just put a plant in front of it. It's an easy fix, right? Whatever. So now I'm just trying to play around with the outside. I put a porch, and I don't think it really matters like how big the porch is. Um, I guess I'm just kind of like compensating for how small the inside is with making like a really cute like porch and like back porch. So I end up adding like more plants as well because I thought that it could use like trees and plants, bushes, flowers, and stuff like that, and make the house really nice and cute. Because it is a really small house, so I wanted to give it some like a grand um, like front yard. I thought it I thought it looked really nice, so I do end up adding lots of plants. I'm just trying to figure out the window situation here. I didn't want to go with the windows that I always use, like the big modern windows, because I didn't want this house to be super modern. Um, you can see that by the type of furniture I've placed within the house. I didn't want a super modern house. I kept it more, I'm not sure the word, but anyways, I was just trying to figure out the roof and I skipped through my whole roof building because it was really embarrassing, to be honest. I suck at making roofs. I want to practice more making them, but I ended up going with this roof style. It's really simple, and it works well with the house. So I'm just adding some columns, um, and just really spicing up the outside. I'm adding some trims onto the roof, and I add some trim onto the wall, I guess, and changing the roof style. Some paneling on the house, the outside of the house. I'm just really giving it a really neutral color, keeping the trim white. I wanted to go with maybe like a different color, but white went well with it. And then I wanted to make like an arch type style, or like add something on top to give an illusion of like a ceiling on the outside. And then I ended up figuring, what if I put plants on the top? So you can see I'm adding little line designs on the top, and then I'm going to get rid of the flooring. And then I put flowers and like grass on the top. It gives it more interest. This house is so small that it really needed all that interest. And don't mind the fact that I keep switching back and forth between my desktop and the Sims game. I just wanted to make sure that my game, or that my recording was still going. So I'm just yeah, adding some decor on the top, adding more flowers, and yeah, I really liked it. I thought it really added an element to my house. How I said that I want to make um like I really made the outside lush, like really nice, green, adding lots of trees and bushes and stuff like that. So I thought adding it on top as well would make a really nice would make it really cute. So I'm just gonna go back inside and add more flooring. I think I changed the walls up a little bit. I didn't really like the color scheme of the room, so I've just been playing around with some colors, and then I'll be moving on to decor after that. I tried to add some cabinets in, but it made the house look way too small. This house is already small, so if I could use things that didn't I I just didn't want the house to look too closed up. So I got rid of the cabinets because they just weren't working. They were too big and bulky in this house, and it didn't add anything to it. It didn't add any type of like interest to the house or an element to the house that I wanted. So I just got rid of all of that and just went more simple. I decided to stay simple with the design, simple with the decor. Just added some greenery inside as well, with some plants wherever like I could get it. And yeah, I really liked the way that it came out. So I finally figured out what walls to use. I use this wallpaper with the trim on the top and the bottom. I think it's on the bottom. I'm actually not sure, but I know there's a trim at the top, like crown molding. Yeah. So I'm just working on the outside again, trying to figure out what to do with the front porch, like what kind of plants, because I really wanted to put some plants out here. I wanted to put some at the bottom of the windows, but they ended up being too big for my liking, so I didn't end up using them. I wish they were smaller ones. That would be awesome. But I'm just trying to figure out something to do with the outside, on top of the windows, but I didn't like any of what I did, so I just got rid of it. So I'm just see right here. I'm figuring out plant situation, but they were way too big. So also, I thought of putting chairs and such outside, but I thought that, nah, I'm just gonna keep it simple with plants. I don't want to add any more furniture onto the outside. So I just left all the furniture inside, and then outside I just wanted to make it look cute and like earthy, really green, like it's a tiny little greenhouse. But then you go in and it's a whole house. So Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out something to put by the windows. I don't think I'm not really sure what I figure out. I put some rocks there, but I think I get rid of them later on. And then I use these tall bushes, bush trees things. I don't know. I hate when I hate when the plants don't match. Like the colors don't match. I don't know why, but I get over it and put those long bushes like these ones, like the hedges, back in because they were long enough for me. And then I put in a tree. I'm just trying to figure out the tree situation here, and I end up using that one. And then I also put a tree in the back, but I'm not sure when I put that in. But yeah, it's looking really cute so far. I'm just moving the house a little bit in, adding like a trail on the outside, like a brick trail. Uh, just just making it look like not. I didn't want to make it a straight trail. I wanted to make it a little curvy, make it look cool, and I did really like that. And I'm just adding a little fence around like the trees and bushes and stuff. And yeah, don't mind this. I'm just trying to figure out something, but I get rid of it anyways. So yeah. I really like the way this turned out, and now I just realized looking back that all the flowers at the top of my house are gone. Wow. Okay, they all disappeared and I didn't even realize it. I'm a little upset, but that's okay. I like the way it looks still, even without the flowers on the top. I think it looks cool. And here I'm just trying to add lights in, but I thought that was a little too much, so got rid of that. And then I just added some rocks into the underneath like the tall bushes or trees or whatever they are. I'm just adding some more like greenery. I'm trying to like really stuff it in there and make it look decent, look real. I want it to look like plants have just been growing. Like so many different types of plants are growing. They can't keep up, you know? Yeah. So I add another tree. Um I really liked this tree. Uh and so I decided to add it in and then put a little trim around it. Then put some grass around it, make it look like like it's been growing there for like years now. So I add more flowers in under the hedges, and yeah, I think I'm just working on the porch now, trying to add in a light on the front porch because we all need light somewhere. And then I'm adding different flooring into the bathroom just to make it look separate, you know? Like I think you really need separation when it comes to this like tiny little home. But yeah, just adding like few decoration and adding that plant in some more, and then it still works with that plant being there. With the objects being there, it still works. So I'm all good there. And yeah, I really like the way that the decorations turned out. I think it's really cute. I added like a shelf. I end up adding in two shelves because I want a lot of clutter. I love clutter and clutter based like tables and stuff like that. So I really wanted to add that because when people live in tiny homes, they live off of storage and shelves because you can hold so many things up there without making clutter and not making too much not taking up too much space on like the ground, so you can add more, you can move around more. So I'm just adding another shelf and putting on more objects onto the shelf. And I hate that there are certain objects that don't go on a shelf, so I brought the shelf out to like the outside to put it on the ground so then I could put things down easier, and then I would pick the shelf up and then go and put it onto the wall. Yeah. So I didn't find that many things that I could put on the shelf, but I like what I had. I thought it looked cute. Looks cool. And then I'm going to put that back onto the wall with the other shelf, and I move them together and make them look cute. I also added a mirror because I thought it created a nice element. Mirrors also make a room look bigger, so I thought that's an interesting one to put in there. Yeah, so I liked it. I'm just trying to figure out another painting to put in there, and I used the light bulb. That's like one of my favorite paintings now, I swear. I love it. I think it's awesome. But yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out the lighting switch again, trying to add in some more lights. Trying to see if wall lights would work or if ceiling lights would work, and I went with the ceiling light because I thought I really like that, like this lantern type style. I think it's cute. And then I put a rug in under the bed because I thought it'd create more of like a roomy feel. So yeah, and then I'm trying to figure out something to put on top of the door. And I was going to add curtains, but I thought it closed up the room a little too much. So I just I just go and find a clock and put it on top of the door, which I really like. I never used the wall clocks. I don't know why, but I liked it. It creates like decor. Looks nice. Looks realistic as well, you know. And I add some more extra stuff that I didn't really need. And then some weird thing happened. But yeah, so I'm adding this hedge, like I said earlier in the video, where I would split up the wall, or split up the bed and the shower to make it not look so awkward. And yeah, I think I'm done. That's my house. I'm just adding a few touches. This is what it looks like in the dark. And yeah, here are a few stills of my house. And I really like the way it turned out. It looks great. It works great. And it's 3 by 3, fully functioning whole entire house. So, thank you for watching, guys. If you liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and of course, subscribe. Don't forget to check out our other videos. And yeah, until next time, see you later.